are you? Welcome to another weekly Wednesday business tip. I am Renee DiVincenzo, and I am here today to give you some insight of what it means to have accountability systems in your workplace. But before we get started with that, for those of you who do not know me, I am an administrative strategist, and I work with business owners like yourself to develop strategies to increase productivity and revenue, as well as to have better performance with your day-to-day operations. And working with business owners as long as I have, for over 11 years, I have seen in the workplace the importance of making sure that everybody is understanding what the 4C'S are when it comes to accountability. So before I get started with that, if you'd like to learn a little bit about me, about my business, please visit my website at mdracs.com. You'll get to find information there of services that I provide, as well as watching video testimonials to see other businesses and where I have helped them to achieve their goals and to get to the next level in their business. If by chance you are looking for a support group in Facebook, I have my private group, which is called Simplify Your Business Administration. There we have almost 200 members, and we have business owners that do engage with one another. You also have the opportunity to ask questions, as well as I will be giving organizational tips, and there is just a lot more in the group that can benefit you. So you can check it out. It is on Facebook, and it's Simplify Your Business Administration. And if by chance you are interested in wanting to learn a little bit more about my business, you can also check that out on Facebook. And I am also on LinkedIn as well as Instagram. So are you ready to get started today and understand what these 4C'S are all about? So I'm going to go first into my first diagram. And, again, this is a process where you can put what your vision, your mission is in your business. So when we look at the first slide, we are going to go look at, let me just take this thing off there for you. There you go. So when we look at the first slide, you're seeing what the 4C'S are. Now you hear a lot. You have the 4P's, sometimes there's the 4D's, but this happens to be the 4C'S in accountability. And each of these circles here have a description, and it is clarity, communication, it is consistency, and consequences. Now, I'm going to explain a little bit about what this all means. When it comes to clarity, especially when you're doing new hire, or you could even be in business by yourself, alone too. And this also could be great when it comes with your clients, because sometimes when we are working by ourselves, we don't feel that this is really important to put in. But when you think about it, it is very important to have clarity, especially with your clients as well, so they have an understanding of what your policy and procedures are when it comes to products, or when it comes to appointments and so forth. But really, basically, the clarity is to help the individual and the organization to know what is expected of them. It is what their responsibilities are. It is what are their roles. What were they hired to do? Also, to your role as a business owner, if you're working on your own, you have to have your own understanding in how you are wanting to work when it comes to putting that type of information together. But it also helps to prevent misunderstandings and confusion. And that is really important when it comes, especially if you do have a team. Sometimes you could be in direct sales and you have a team of people working with you. So you all grow up. So you all go up the ladder. And when you have that information in place, it also helps them to be accountable to their actions. Now, you're going to hear that a lot, because accountability means to be accountable to yourself, as well as people who work for you to be accountable to you and to the business. When you're looking at the circle on communication, now this is an area where I find working with small businesses that we all think we can read each other's minds, right? And sometimes that just does not come to play because we talk so fast. Actually, our mind goes so fast, but there's only so much that we can share. So when it comes to your communication, it's really important to identify and address the areas that need to be addressed, especially if you have deadlines to be put into place, if someone has to do a project. It even could be the communication when it comes to your clients and the information that you're sharing with them about your services, so there's no misunderstanding on that. Again, it does prevent issues from popping up when it comes to when you're communicating, and it also again keeps your employees accountable, keeps your customers accountable to what it is that you're saying. And you as the business owner have to be accountable to all of the areas that I just mentioned, especially when it comes to working with the public. When it comes to consistency, now this is an area here where these are to ensure the rules and the standards that people are applying to what it is that you are putting in place for your business, as well as sometimes too, when you're in direct sales, you are given some rules and regulations too, things that you could do, things that you are not able to do. And when you are putting the consistency area together, it also is the rules of helping to not to show favoritism, especially if you do have staff members that maybe you become friendly with or so forth, but it's just to keep everyone on the same page, and it keeps everyone equal across the board. So you have to be consistent when it comes to the rules and regulations that you're applying, because it fits everybody. It's just not supposed to be for one person and then not for another. Consequences are an area that I have found, that are being put in place but not fully followed through. So when you're looking at consequences, this again too is very important to have, because you do not want your employees, especially if you have a staff or a team, to violate the rules, right? Consistency helps people to stay accountable to what it is that you put in place, what their actions are too. This also, with the consistency, is that, with the consequences means that sometimes when rules are broken, it's not fully followed through, but you want to make sure that everyone is treated fairly and equally when it comes to consequences. And this is kind of a hard area out of the C's, where business owners may, they know they have it in place, but they feel bad and they don't want to fully go through with it, and, giving people second chances. So I'm going to just share with you how to put a culture together of accountability. So after you go through what your 4C'S are and how you want to put it in play, I'm going to share now the accountability. And what does that basically mean? Well, first of all, as you see some of the descriptions that I have here for you, it is define expectations. And this really has to be defined with behavior, performance, the outcomes of what it is that's happening in your organization, as well as setting performance goals and outlining expected behaviors, that people who are not following what the consequences are for the rules that you put in place. When it comes to lead by example, now this is something that really is important, because as the business owner or as the maybe manager of a team, it's really important to lead by example, meaning that you should be the model of the behaviors and actions that are expected from others because they're going to follow you, right? It's the same thing too. If they do something, but they're saying you can't do it, are you really going to think that's fair? Also, too, it's being transparent and taking responsibility for mistakes. Now, sometimes you do fall into that category where, you made a mistake yourself, but it's okay because mistakes can always be corrected. And it's also holding yourself and your team, or even, again, if you're working for yourself, accountable to your own actions. So always remember that you are the image of your business as well as being the image of a company, because they're looking at you. And when, think about so many times, or maybe not so many times, but you might have heard about a company, but someone's working there and you didn't really hear a great thing. Do you really want to be part of being a customer of that company? So always lead by example. When it comes to communicating effectively, which I kind of shared a bit, but as a leader, it's very important to make sure that you are being understood correctly, that you are giving that information out, speaking in a tone of voice that may not be overwhelming to the person that you could be talking to on it, but also to encourage open and honest communication. This is an area where a lot of times, think about it, if you're right now working for yourself, but you happen to be working for another company, how comfortable did you feel about being honest about maybe something that you're seeing that's going on, or maybe you didn't like the way you were being treated? Did you feel that it was going to be resolved, or did you feel, what, it's just better I just, do not say anything and then just bide my time? So always treat everyone equally and make sure that people know that, listen, they could come and talk to you about things, especially too if you have personal matters going on. When it comes to the provide resources and support, now this area is really important because you have to have resources for either your team to go to, your employees to go to, and you as a business owner have your own resources that you will follow through. And this could be training, actually, as a business owner, and if you are working on your own, these are resources for you to take, where you could take courses, where you could take workshops. And some of the areas, right now I have a boot camp going on called Master Your Daily Schedule Boot Camp. And this is actually a training session, a workshop session too, which however you want to define it, but it's helping you to understand how you work and how you could make the changes. So make sure that you have training as someone to be a mentor, and also forms of support where if someone needs to go to speak with someone. And what's going to happen is that when you provide these resources, it's going to develop their skills. It's going to develop your own skills. Always to recognize and reward success, because I will tell you, people love recognition. When I was a sales director in Mary Kay Cosmetics, I remember watching just a little clip about Mary Kay being on 60 Minutes, and she had asked them if anybody happened to know what the number one thing we lack. So of course they're saying money, and money's always the big thing, and maybe not enough time for myself, but really it's to be recognized. Think about when you were working with someone, how awesome was it to be recognized for what it is that you do? And the same thing too as being in business by yourself. Isn't it wonderful when your clients say to you, oh my gosh, I have to refer you because you give such great service? So it just reinforces the commitment of accountability, and it makes your clients and even your workers, your team, loyal to you, and that they are going to get motivated and they are going to help with what needs to be done to bring the business to the next level or meet those quarterly goals. Establish consequences again, and we're going to just briefly talk about that. Be very clear about what can happen if someone does not follow what needs to be be done, but also you have to take the disciplinary actions on what to do. And I'm going to share just very quickly, when I was working in corporate and I was an administrative assistant, I shouldn't say it was corporate, but it was just incorporated, the company I worked for. And there was an area where it came to management where there was a person that just truly did not really maybe care for me or liked what I did. And there was always a lot of havoc going on. And because that person was friends with upper management, it was a little hard for me to be able to feel that I was being understood. So this is the part of the establish of consequences that you really have to take action as a leader, as well as a business owner for yourself, that you have to follow through of what it is that you put in play if someone is doing something that's not supposed to be doing on, say, the job site. When you're having your reviews and and revise, I will always say too, it's always great to have a 90-day review to see if the person is a good fit for the company. Also, as a business owner, it's a little hard to do your own review, but I will tell you that you could see your performance by how your business is growing. And when you're doing a review with the company or with employees, this is an area where if someone comes in to say, hey, I really, really would like a raise. I've been working here for so long. I would always say, okay, great. Why don't we come into the office and set up a date? And now you're pulling out the review. Now, when you're doing a review, you're looking to see, did that person improve in what they said they were going to improve in? If they did, wonderful. If they didn't, then there's something there that still needs to be worked on. This also helps with giving the raises. So it's not as though a person, it's a little tough sometimes to give a raise, especially the way the economy could be. But you know what? When it's on black and white and it's on paper, you're just telling the person by what they're seeing, by what you're seeing, and what their performance is on it. So the one area that I will share with you is that by working with your 4C'S, it will lead to better performance. You will also have a better outcome, and you will have a better reputation, a stronger reputation with your employees and with others in the community that want to use your service, because they know you will stay accountable and you are responsible. Now, I just also wanted to share with you, for those of you that always hear me talk about my strategy sessions, as I just shared with you about the accountability program, I do work with business owners as yourself, and I help put these procedures in place to help you improve. So my 4-week program is working with you to understand what your mission is, to understand how are you marketing, how are you increasing your clients? Where is it that you want to go? How are you scheduling? So a lot of this has to do with how to identify your own performance. And as I shared right now, I do have a boot camp going on to master your daily schedule. And I also will be having oh my gosh, it's March 1st. It's going to be at the end of this month. I'm also going to be doing a course on the roadmap to master your daily schedule. And this is actually going to help you put the exercise in place and find out your strategies as we work together to help improve your productivity. So I wanted to just thank you for being on with me today. Thank you for watching this video on about accountability. Always feel, if there's any questions, please always reach out to me. You can reach out to me in social media. You can also direct message me. And if you are wanting to have a chat and learn a little bit more about what I do, I'd love to learn about what you do. You can always schedule time with me with my calendar link that you'll find in this video. So I hope you all make it a great day. Enjoy this Wednesday and look on for Friday. Don't forget Friday, I'm going to have my 5-minute live, and I'm going to be in a new location. So let's see if you happen to know where I will be. Make it a great day.